What is up, Dragon Ball players? Welcome to a Ellipsis live gameplay video because a new set has released and I feel like I should be making some content. So, on the screen here we have Red-Green Launch versus the Ultimate Deck Towa Leader, which is pretty cool. This version is playing the Janemba aggro chain, or I guess like crit vanilla chain. Pretty sweet. It was a concept created by my teammate Derek McDill, and then the deck was put together by Joe Ramos, and then we've got our friend Jesse playing it. On the right, I'm playing this pretty run-of-the-mill red-green launch. Really cool deck. Just pretty aggro. It gets to do a lot of cool stuff. So Jesse's going to attack the Towa Leader. He's going to take a life, draw that card. And because he took a life via his skill, I was able to play Bardock the Resolute for free. And then, if you don't know what the Launch Leader does, so Launch is similar to Hercule from World Martial Art Tournament in the sense that when you combo with a card, you draw a card. And then, she does not have an Awaken ability, which she has instead as an auto that triggers when a card in your life is flipped up by one of your skills. You can flip her over, draw a card, and then it has the same thing on the backside, except for it has a on-attack auto. On the the awaken side, quote, quote, has an on-attack auto where it says, when this card attacks, choose a 20 of your opponent's battle cards, or choose a 20 of your opponent's cards and minus it by 5k. So I'm going to attack, decrease the Towa by 5, combo with a Bulma, draw a card, and then Bulma, when she's combo, she's going to flip a life and then allow me to do the whole launch effect. Now, the cool thing with this leader is, because you're constantly flipping your life, you get to know what essentially every card in your life is, meaning you can selectively take certain cards. If you need a super combo and you flipped it, or a violent raise and you flip that, you can take that card because you know what it is. Jesse asked me, he was like, the minus 5k is not for the turn, right? And it is just for the battle. So I'm going to swing the Resolute, try and put him from 6 to 4, and he's going to dump 2 5ks effectively. And then at the end of my turn, I flip all face-up cards in my life back down. I'm going to just check in. I'm reading the Janemba cards because I have not really read them. I know what the SR does. I do not know what any of the other ones do off the top of my head. So I'd seen that he had charged one of the big boy 5-drops and he comboed another one. So I was like, all right, well, he probably has another one in hand. And yeah. And then the Towa Leader, if you don't know what she does, she's pretty cool. She has a couple of interesting deck build varieties. So there's this one. There's the just straight up ultimate deck stuff with the red Brolys and the Lord Slug Chain, which I actually think the Lord Slug Chain is pretty interesting. Joey's reading cards or looking at like the foiling on the blue ball. But yeah, so Towa, she has a permanent ability that says all dark Broly and non-black Zeno cards in your hand, or cards with Zeno in their character name, get -1 and they have no specified cost. You get to start casting, like, for instance, the red Broly 2-drop for 1 energy and stuff. I don't know exactly what it pertains to in this deck. I'm not sure. I'm sure at least one of them is the Janemba Zeno. And then attack, she can take up to 1 life and draw a card. Untap 1, draw 1 for the Awaken, and on the backside, when she attacks, she gains 5k, draws a card, and then it has the same permanent. But it also has a secondary auto that when one of your Zeno people is removed by an opponent's skill during either player's turn, you draw a card, which is cool for, like, against green decks because of Frieza and stuff. So here I'm going to charge Vegeta the Cruel, which is a stupid tech choice for right now, mostly because there's no real, like, formats. The proxied card, by the way, is Feminine Wiles. It's the 1-drop launch promo, which when it's comboed, you -5k to something. We don't have them yet. I'm still waiting for the tournament kit to come into my store because the major distributor who gets the tournament kits just hasn't got them. So we're going to combo a red and a green, draw our cards, and we're going to arrival the 5-drop Gogeta, which forever will be one of my favorite cards that's ever been printed. And then since Gogeta was summoned, we're going to, or a 5-drop red-green card was played, we get to play Acrobatic Dancer for free. And then he is a 15k attacker, but when he is tapped via an alliance skill, he does 1 damage to your opponent. And that's the major win con of the deck, is comboing that card with the 2-drop Piccolo Junior from Draft Box 6, who says Alliance Red Green. When you trigger the Alliance, if you tap stuff, if your opponent has 3 or more life, he does 1 damage to them. So you structure the autos. That way he does 1 damage to put them to 3, and then the Gogeta does 1 more to put him to 2. Piccolo's a base double striker, and then he gets really big because of Alliance. And speaking of the Piccolo Jr., there he is right there. And the cool thing about Alliance is that it's an auto ability. So, like, say, I don't know, your opponent's at 1 life your opponent's at 1 life, and you swing it, and they go, yeah, no negate. You can still trigger Alliance to tap Gogeta, and Gogeta will still do the lethal damage. All right, so we're going to swing the Piccolo, trigger Alliance. We're going to tap what looks like 50k worth of power. Going to do the 2 damage for free. And we're just going to combo the rest of our hand. That is comboable. Because, like, here's the thing, we're sitting on 7 life. He's going to either die on this attack, or he has to dump most of his hand to protect himself. So it's a pretty safe spot. Also, we have the Resolute Swing, assuming he doesn't, like, bean his way up from Oblivion. Which is possible. It is a blue deck. Shout out to 2 different people for the red-green deck. So I think it was Craig Meyer who topped the PBG event, and then Frisco Foz, the beautiful boy, who posted his version of the list initially, which got at least me like looking at the deck and testing it a little bit, and then saw Craig's list, and I was like, and some of the cards he played in there, and I was like, okay, I dig this. We'll make some changes. Really fun deck. Honestly, if you haven't messed with launch yet, and like your playgroup doesn't mind like proxying the tournament pack cards until you get them, or just playing on untap, like launch is really fun. It reminds me a lot of Hercule, and if you missed playing Hercule, like if you didn't play that deck, you definitely missed something, because Hercule was the shit. Alright. So it looks like it's safe to assume that Jesse's going to out-combo here. He did drop 3 super combos at 10k, and he's going to have just more 5ks to combo. It's kind of weird that maybe he didn't have another 10k in hand just to get the full max value out of the Senzu Bean. But let's see, he's at 20, 30, 40, 50? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And I think I was at 86 or 76. It was a weird number because Piccolo Jr. is a 16k, not a 15k. Which is weirdly relevant for certain cards, because I think Beerus Ball only hits 15ks. And now that Beerus Ball is seeing some sort of play, I believe after Legends side decked it. Just counting out the combo in his hand, looking at the cards he wants to keep. Again, feeling pretty confident on my side. Like, even though I don't have... I'm trying to remember. I think my hand was honestly like a negate, like a Violent Raise and like a 10k, so I couldn't combo it. Or... No, I believe it was a 5k and a 10k? Something along those lines. But I knew that at 7 life, I could take, at the very least, I could take the, the launch promo, if he does damage to me, that outside of a crit attack, just to try and draw, 4 cards. Alright, gonna combo the SPR 3-drop Janemba, which that card looks amazing. And, I think that's my favorite thing about the set. The SPR cards in set 12 are fucking gorgeous. The Goku, that Goku is astounding. The 3-drop that you play for 2 off your life, which I want to find a way to make that work in launch. I think it was Travis Washburn was playing Mono Red launch, and I'm really interested to see that list. I know he just barely bubbled off a top cut, and that man is like a Mono Red god. Played him a couple times in tournaments. It's always fun, witnessing what version of red he's playing at every event. Alright, so we're going to see him charge. See if he gets to do any interesting things with the Janemba package. I will say I felt pretty confident with that attack because, again, in 7 life, it's going to be at a pretty difficult point to kill me. Just knowing he blew his Awaken already. And I think it takes a lot of energy to do the chain. I know the Towa One drop is a major way that they go into stuff. I know Kid Q, so like he has to play one drop and then tap two more, which there's a couple things he could do. Like he could summon a one drop and then swing the leader and the bean if he has another one to untap an energy. But now the 3-drop launch in the energy there, because a lot of the cards that have been popping up are pretty standard, like stuff that you know if you've played the game already, like Vegeta the Cruel. But the 3-drop launch says when your opponent or when your leader flips to the backside, if she's in your hand, you can tap one and play her. And she is a 15k critical that when she is played, kills a 15k or less battle card that your opponent controls. Which can combo really well with the tournament pack card because you can decrease something by 5k and then summon her and then pop, like, I don't know, a 15k attack, or like a 20k attacker that they thought they went in with because they thought they could win. So he attacks with the leader. I take the tournament pack card just again to guarantee the combo, so I could draw a bunch of cards. Don't mind me. Just gonna sip some coffee real quick. What are the what decks do you guys like from the set? What's your favorite deck? Most that we've built just about everything, and at least for the next week or two. I can't guarantee a lot of content just because busy lives and stuff for all of us, but there's definitely going to be some games. I know there's a couple more that I'm going to be doing the commentary for today, and then I definitely want to get some games. I know we have the new Sin Shenron deck with the 8-drop. That card's really cool, especially comboed with the Oceanus, I think. It's the 4-drop person. He's kind of like, not T-posing, she's like doing the peace sign out to the world or some shit. I want to get that deck. And then probably a couple more games with launch and some other stuff as well. Dark Broly, because new Dark Broly is really good. If no one noticed after the whole BPG event. Alright, so looks like he's going to swing the Towa here. Alright, swing the Towa. Here's a Senzu Bean. There it is. So the Towa, rewriting history, what she does is when she's played, you add a ball. I think it's a Dark Dragon Ball from, I think it's deck to hand, but it might also grab from Grave. So a lot of that, like, recursion stuff for black adds stuff from, Grave. Other abilities she can tap to, and then discard, discard a ball, and then summon a Zeno 4 or less with the same character name as the ball, or it's the same color as the ball. But I think it's the same character name. So he goes into the 4-drop Janemba, and this card's pretty cool. It's the only other, it's the SR and then that card. It's the only ones that I know what the hell they do. When this one attacks, your opponent can warp one of their battle cards. If they don't, or battle cards on the field. If they don't, he gets to untap one at 1 mono blue energy. Which is pretty cool because if you can trick your opponent into thinking that, like, you've tapped out and you're like, oh, I don't have anything else to do. And then you just kind of keep going in. I honestly think the Janemba chain is pretty interesting. I think it's unexplored. I think there's definitely, like, other decks that people could... I warp the Resolute here for the auto so he doesn't untap. I'm trying to think. Like, other decks that you could play it with. Like, there's the Janemba leader, Soul Striker. Honestly, Pycon seems pretty interesting. I think the leader has some room to be explored. And I think the Janemba chain might be the way to go. I don't think the Pycon stuff itself is pretty good. But I think the leader is definitely not terrible. And then you have, like, Kid Q can do it. Reboot Hit seems really interesting. I'm waiting for Alex Wilking to do something with that because that man is really good at playing Reboot Hit. And then the Towa deck, as we can see here. It's pretty cool because turn 3 against, like, I think Joe was saying non-blue decks and just decks that can, like, control your board. He's able to, like, put 2 chains up turn 3. So he's going to EX evolve into the 5-drop. The 5-drop restands and is a dual attack, 25k crit attacker. And I think at this point I'm asking Joe, I was like, there's no, like, Janemba you could summon for free at this point, right? Like, you could summon, like, a Chilled if you have it. But, like, this should be his last attack because he's tapped out, right? So He's swinging at my board. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So this means that he knows he can't kill me. He's just going to try and board control. And I'm just not going to combo the cards from hand. One, because I only have 3. And the board's not that important in this moment because he's tapped out. He doesn't have a sparking negate. Or if he does, it's just power burst. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to combo the launch SR, draw a card, flip a life, and then draw another card. And the reason we do this, the SR is really good because we're going to take the crit attack and draw for turn. So the reason the SR is really good is when it is in your graveyard, if your leader's on the front side, graveyard, oh god, if it's in your drop, if the leader's on the front side, you can combo it for free and get its auto. Like, for free from the drop. It's a 5k. You can combo everything for free. I'm going to tap 2, play the Piccolo. Just happen to have another copy of it. We're going to swing. Opting to tap the Gojitas and the Tau. Just going up to plus 50 combo, so we're at 66. Comboing the launch from the grave. Draw, flip, draw. Combo, draw again. And then I'm going to just proceed to dump our hand here. And Jesse's scooping. That's the game. That's the launch deck. Launch is really cool. I like I said, I'm going to probably do some more footage of her. There's another version of the deck I want to build as well that is red-blue launch, and I might be doing a video on it soon. So, other than that, thanks for watching. Leave a comment about what decks you'd like to see, and if you have any questions in general, or stuff like that. Other than that, have a great rest of your day.